And man, I've had cars lately, like I don't know, the last few, which has a push button start. And I haven't actually turned an ignition in a while, except for when we had the 260Z.
Yeah.
And what it felt like there is something to that.
Oh, the feeling you get?
Experience of like churning it over, like gut. And I gotta admit, I kind of miss it a little bit. I even had push button cars. I had a Panamera previous to that Taycan, and they would keep the ignition just for the heritage,
just for the feel,
even though you don't need it.
Yeah.
And the key doesn't come out. You still have a key that sits in your pocket, and you just approach it.
Oh.
But on the left side of the steering wheel, there's a little faux ignition that you turn it and and I think 911s still have it.
Oh, interesting.
It's like an ode to the racing heritage, where you would jump in the car, because that's what's weird about them. They put the ignition on the other side.
Really?
Yeah, because you would jump in the car for a race. The old races, you had to run to the car and jump into the car.
And then just be ready to go.
The race starts on foot. No, I'm serious right now.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm absolutely serious.
No way.
Yes.
So part of a racer's training would be sprinting.
Yeah, it's a short sprint, but it's like the cars are over there and like ready, set, go, and you gotta, how quickly you can get into the car matters.
And get everything ready.
Exactly.
Okay.
Get yourself
There's some skill there.
rigged up, man. I mean, exciting times. Missed times.
Wow.
Now we gotta wait for the electric vehicle races. I know they do it. You got Formula E. Actually, we have a story about Formula One in here, which is pretty cool. But of course, the top story, the main story here today, we had to come with a couple of Apple-related news, starting with Apple defeating a lawsuit over racially diverse emoji. This was not something that ever crossed my mind. It's not something that I ever imagined would be something that would be seen as exclusive. But there was a company, I think it was all the way back in 2014, that attempted to, I don't know if it was trademark, they attempted to protect the idea of racially diverse emoji. They claim to be, I don't know the very first, but the originator. Actually, they got a funny name too. Scroll down. Well, the name of the company was
iDiversify or something?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I don't know why I can't see right now. I think you got to go further. There it is. iDiversicons. Doesn't that sound...
Icons,
you know what's funny? It sounds
I.
kind of nice, but also it sounds like a evil villain at the same time, like Decepticons.
Decepticon, yeah.
Diversicons, but they're icons.
Emojis
so
that come to life.
Anyway,
is that the website here?
I don't think things went all that well for them.
Boy.
All right, after 2014. But you remember, this is like a 2014 type of website right here.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Will?
Does it have Flash?
Look, that's Ray Lewis, former Baltimore Raven.
Wow. Wow, this is a very old school website here.
Yeah, very old school website. So I don't know if they kept up with it, but they were sitting there saying, well, hey, wait a second. We had the diverse emojis way before Apple did. And it was called the Cub Club. And actually, you can see in the corner right there, it says, you can see some examples of it. There's like a person in a wheelchair. I mean, they had everybody.
Right.
And of course, now this is not an Apple exclusive thing. Whether you're on Android, wherever you are, you're having these options right now. And funny enough, I saw a story previous to this one about people who are very conflicted over which hand emoji to select. Right? Because you may be like, especially here in Toronto, a lot of people are racially diverse. They could be a number of different things.
Yeah.
And sometimes their ethnicity might not line up with their actual tone. So I was reading this article about how people are conflicted over which one to select exactly and whether there's enough gradients. And the fact that the default is like Simpsons yellow, right?
Yeah.
It's very yellow.
Which is really like, wasn't it? It was like a cartoon. And of course, you might have to have at some point, like, where do you stop is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And is it going to be like a gradient slider once you pick the emoji and then you have to...
That is a genius idea. Will just solved it. Trademark that. Diversicon that. You better Diversicon that right now.
Okay.
because this is the perfect opportunity for a gradient where you can just like Will said, you can not even a gradient, Will. It's just a color wheel.
A color wheel? Oh man.
It's like the Photoshop. Like you can.
Well, if somebody want to be pink or whatever at this point, they go in there and they select it.
I used to change the tone, but I just it's one extra step.
You're a Simpson now?
Just send the yellow one. I'm a Simpson now.
Well, you must have people in your life that change it.
Yeah.
Like everybody notices it, and sometimes people are confused by it. They would get an emoji from somebody like, wait a second,
Really?
Has that not happened to you before?
No.
Where I'm like, that's not an exact reflection right there. I'm not talking about the default.
Right. Yeah. No, you're talking about when they select a skin tone
and they go
for their emoji.
and they go further.
Right.
But I mean, this is open to interpretation. It's on a personal level. You get to pick whichever one you want. And according to Diversicons, they were the first to consider such a thing, calling it the world's first emoji with diverse skin tones back in 2013. And they actually discussed a potential partnership, allegedly, with Apple representatives in 2014. Apple said, hey, it's a pretty good idea you got right there.
Oh, well, then maybe they got something to say.
And that Apple created its own set of multiracial emoji after declining to work with her. That's the individual behind this particular thing. Here's the thing. The judge took a look at it and said, listen, this is not a thing you can protect. This is not a protectable thing. This is an obvious thing that anybody will be able to do and implement. Like, it's not unique enough. And so you're not getting any type of trademark on this thing because it's inevitable it's going to happen. And lots of companies are going to need to do it and implement it. So the case, Apple won the case. And,
so they won. It wasn't dismissed or something.
Well, if it was dismissed, they still won. Was it dismissed? Is that what it says? Either way, they won. They're not having to pay this person or do anything about it. Okay. Look at this. There aren't many ways that someone could implement this idea, she said. After all, there are only so many ways to draw a thumbs up. Yeah. They called the idea unprotectable.
Yeah, it's just too simple.
Apple at most copied Cub Club's unprotectable idea of diverse emoji. But anyway, this is a long time ago. You start to think about the internet in 2013. Posting to YouTube was like 2 years old. I might have had a webcam.
You were a baby.
I might have had a webcam or something. It was so different back then. And it's hard to even imagine that there was a time without the multiple thumbs. But it is very interesting that at one time everybody was a Simpsons yellow.
Yeah.
Although now, is it still default? Is it still default Simpsons yellow?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still across platforms.
Oh man, I haven't been on an Android in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, Simpsons.
Yeah, maybe in the chat.
Simpsons are the big winners here.
Yeah.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
And my name's Mo from The Simpsons too.
Oh yeah, there you go. Apple boss Tim Cook faces backlash. They have this is on the BBC, so the number is in British pounds. It's around $100 million, and that was his pay package for the last year. It's a lot of money, but he also is involved in the generation of a lot of money, and with a lot more zeros than the zeros that are in the millions. You know the type of zeros I'm talking about. Well,
yeah, boatloads
of zeros. You need to start using B's in order to discuss those type of zeros. You might need to start using T's to start discussing those type of...
Him? No.
Trillion. I mean, I'm saying at some point.
Pay?
I'm saying at some... No. I'm talking about...
company.
Revenue. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he plays a significant role.
For sure.
And by the way, no, we're not close to trillions in revenue yet. We're obviously close to trillions in terms of value, market cap. Yeah. But hey, man, inflation keeps going like it's going. Well, tell you something, numbers go up. Or if you're like Mo in the crypto space, numbers go down, then they go up.
The up is up.
The down is up and the up is down. It's like a go dog go scenario every morning with Mo. Hey Lou, did you see the down went up? And the up is going down. I'm like, Mo, are we talking about the same thing anymore?
It's always the same.
Yeah, are we talking about the same thing anymore?
It's
anyway,
the green and red colors.
So you got some shareholders here that are pissed off. The Institutional Shareholder Services, ISS, said it had significant concerns over the size of the award, up from $14.8 million the year before. So you go from 14 to 99. Bit of a jump, would you say? Bit of a raise.
Whoa.
Mr. Cook, whose net worth is reportedly more than 1 billion, again in British pounds, so that's like, I don't know, 1.2, 1.3, received the pay in share salary and for other costs. In a letter to shareholders, the ISS said that there are significant concerns over the design and magnitude of the package. Half of the award lacks performance criteria, the ISS said. Mr. Cook, who is 61, has spoken publicly about his concerns over equality and human rights issues. And he said in 2015 he would give away his entire fortune before he dies. That's a thing you can just say, though. I mean, you can just say it, though.
You could just say it and not do it?
You're dead, remember,
Yeah.
Mo? You're dead.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy.
Mo's dead?
Yeah,
You're dead. You're dead.
He's Tim Cook.
Mr. Cook's pay was 1,447 times more than the wage of an Apple employee. Yeah, well, not everybody's Tim Cook, I guess. Mm-hmm. What else does it say here? His package included $630,000 in personal security costs and $712,000 for private jet use. I mean, you got to get around, don't you, Will? You got to travel around. You got events. You got meetings. What do you got?
Really? There's a lot of traveling going on for him?
Mo, you calling out Tim Cook? Are you a member of the ISS? Are you investigating this?
No, I'm not.
You're like
The
you're
personal
the guy in the
security
boardroom. You're like, really, Tim? 700? Where are you going, Tim? He's like, I gotta golf. I gotta go to the fundraiser. I gotta go.
All right, you have fun. Have fun.
I gotta go to Washington. I gotta make business deals. He probably has to go to China a lot. Mo.
Oh, okay.
Mo.
All right.
Going
We
to
dug a
China.
little deeper.
He's
We
going
found
to China.
it.
The company behind the iPhone, iPad, MacBook became the first company to hit $3 trillion stock market value in January before dipping. See that T right there, Will? Is the T I was talking about.
The TN?
Yeah, that's the tea I was talking about.
Nice.
You drinking tea these days, Will?
Still green tea. Here and there.
It's only a here and there. It's not a daily.
No.
Interesting.
I've been drinking the night teas.
What's these things on your desk these days? I feel like it's
candy?
I feel like it's accumulating over there.
Yeah,
This
it's just
pile,
candy.
But it's all in the corner.
wait,
of
Some
that's
my
green tea
camera.
over here.
Hang on a second. That's a candy at the front?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't eat
You wanna
that
give it a
one.
shot?
No, I was eating the ginger one.
Okay, yeah.
Was that yours as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. I like those.
They are good, yeah.
Yeah, those are delicious.
Ginger candy.
It's like a ginger, but it's chewy. Did you try that, Mo?
No, I haven't.
Well,
It's
think
what it
about
was
it. Are you a
meant.
ginger guy or no?
Yeah, I don't mind ginger.
Easy. Oh, well, I've had worse, but
I say I like ginger, and you go easy.
did you ever have a ginger tea?
Yeah, I like a ginger tea. I've been sick before.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
Apple's going to hold its meeting, and anyway, they're pissed, and they say, hey, what the heck, man? What the heck's going on here? We're trying to pay you a reasonable amount here. We want to pay you 15, 20 million. Don't get carried away with this 100 million.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference people need to remember with Tim Cook. Tim Cook is a guy with a job. Tim Cook's a guy, he's a CEO of a company. He gets compared to the likes of founders, people like Zuckerberg or Elon or whoever.
They're in the billions.
Well, but the thing is that these guys, their pay packages are even more unusual because they take very low salaries and have all kinds of performance components and own enormous percentages of the company.
Yeah.
Spotify is acquiring two major podcast tech platforms. Chartable and Pod Sites are being bought. We talked in the past, a couple of times, I think, about Spotify's mission towards podcasts and the acquisition of high-profile podcasts and podcast networks. And not just acquisitions, but licensing deals. And a big part of this is the ability to, generate revenue through advertising, which podcasts are very effective at. Just like this one right here, there'll be an ad at some point. You're going to pay very close attention to it in order to support this show, right? Do we have an agreement? Spotify is making more podcast acquisitions. They announced today acquiring both Chartable and Pod Sites, two of the most prominent podcast marketing and ad attribution companies. They track everything, right? You insert this stuff somewhere into the connection's actually easy if you're on big platforms. But essentially what ends up happening is it makes the podcast trackable. You can find out a little bit more about your listeners and therefore connect the correct advertisers. Now, Spotify needs to figure all that out. They started with Rogan, and all of a sudden they were banking on the advertising, but they needed to take it to another level and become more sophisticated. In the end, you're competing against platforms like YouTube here, which knows a lot about their users and is able to serve effective advertising. It's all an interesting thing because we're moving into a marketplace like some of those Facebook stories yesterday where gathering information about users seems to be increasingly coming under scrutiny. Any amount of information, especially third parties plugging into information from elsewhere.
Right. Not trackable.
Phones are warning you about these things, and companies are starting to take it seriously, and they seem to all have plans, the Googles and the Apples, of sort of shifting the way that works. But if you're Spotify and everything's happening on your platform and you're finding out sophisticated ways to track your users who are paying for your service, and by track, I mean, like, I suppose learn about your listening habits, simple demographic stuff, and so forth, they can really beef up their advertising offering when they go try to make these sales and say, you got to be on our network because everyone who listens to this podcast is this person who needs to buy this thing. And so they get the talent, and now they got to get the technology because Spotify is Spotify, but Spotify is not YouTube.
What do you mean?
Why did he bite on that? He could have just left it alone. He could have been like, you're right. It's definitely not YouTube. I'm saying from an
you left it open.
I'm saying from an analytics standpoint, right? On YouTube, I know everything. I know everything about you.
Oh, right.
I'm talking to you right through the camera right now. I know everything about you. I know what you have for breakfast. I watched a clip of Zuckerberg when he was in Congress. Man, those clips are addictive. Addictive when they hit him with the questions. And he's like, Congressman. Congress, he always has to reiterate who he's talking to every time. And so one of the guys is like, Mr. Zuckerberg, would you like to share with us the hotel you stayed in last night? And his face goes beet red. And he's like, Congressman, I would not like to share that. I turned into Yoda in public at the moment. And then the congressman is like, gotcha. They love it. They love to try and get that moment. But they're like, see, that's the problem. You're tracking me all the time, but it doesn't really. It's not a perfect correlation, but it does. People love to watch billionaires squirm a little bit.
Sure.
They just. But Zuckerberg doesn't want you to know which hotel he stayed in last night. Elon Musk ramps up criticism of Trudeau by tweeting Hitler comparison meme. Woo! Willie Doo just heated up the show. Musk is a big trucker protest guy. He has been supportive on social media. He has been critical of Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau has recently declared some kind of state of emergency, some sort of really DEFCON 9 sounding.
Yeah.
Really?
They said it's like right under martial law.
Yeah, I can't remember. We're gonna.
That's how serious
do they have the name
is.
of it in here? Because I don't even think it's. There's a special name for it. Elon Musk waded further into the political controversy over vaccine mandates that's gripped Canada for weeks, tweeting a meme making a satirical comparison between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Hitler. Canadian authorities have ordered financial institutions not to interact with 34 different crypto addresses tied to the country's ongoing trucker protests. Okay, so that was the tweet from CoinDesk, and I guess his meme was in a reply. Stop comparing me to...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It's reversed. The meme is reversed. It's not... Hitler's embarrassed to be compared.
Yeah.
To Justin Trudeau. Wow. I don't know. I mean, this might be a little bit on the extreme side of things. Elon is known to be a bit of what would you say that is? I don't want to say the word troll, but it's more like what is the word for somebody who kind of likes to stir things up?
Stir the pot? I don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat.
Crap stir?
No. Like a provocateur.
Oh,
that's what I want.
Yeah.
Provoke people. Okay, scroll down a little bit more. Let's see what else it has to say. The world's richest man was replying to a post by cryptocurrency trade publication CoinDesk about Trudeau's emergency orders aimed at cutting off funds to protesters. So I guess this new thing that he has engaged, whatever, not quite martial law, has enabled the government to seize funds or at least stop payments from being sent to this group, at which point people start to, on Elon's side, start to get nervous about, oh, really, you have that level of power. You're just starting to reach into the funds and freeze the funds and so forth.
Because they froze the funds at GoFundMe.
They froze the fund.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah, no more
$10
fun.
million.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where it capped at.
Yeah, and then they went to some other platform, but then it turned into crypto, and then they're like, we're going to go get the crypto too, and everybody's really serious at the podium and so forth. Listen, I'm not in Ottawa. I don't know to what extent this is, I just don't know exactly what it looks like on that level, but the feeling that you get via social media, well, it's like every issue, right? There's, you got Trudeau and his supporters on one side, and you got Elon and his supporters on the other, and including conservative politicians here in Canada that have been somewhat supportive of this convoy as well. And the people, never mind the people, where people have contributed tremendous funds to this particular cause. Yeah. And is this live right now?
No, this was 5 days ago.
5 days ago. We have a 5 day ago update here. Yeah, so anyway, it's they're at a standstill. But I should say, in the meantime, with all these emergency acts and things going into place, there are many provinces, including Ontario, that are peeling back some of the vaccine restrictions and things like that. So the thing might settle down on its own.
Yeah.
Regardless, without the memes.
Yeah.
Without the freezing of the. Wow, that's a full concert going on.
Yeah, it's right in front of the Parliament.
Wow.
Bit of an event.
It's a full concert going on in the thing. Damn. It has been going on for a bit. What would you guys say? It's a couple of weeks now, no?
I would say at least 2 to 3.
Yeah, a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, they barricaded themselves. It's like a little community.
I mean, you got to, like, to brave the type of weather that's going on in Ottawa.
Yo, the Canadian weather?
You got to be pretty.
You got to believe in what you're doing.
I'm just going to say right now, we had a couple of nights here. We had a couple of minus 20 type of nights and we're further south over here. Ottawa's up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Tell you what. So I don't know about you, Mo, but I see when it gets to about minus 20, you start bringing the fluffy coats out with the little fur going on.
With the fur around it.
That's something you might do. And Will, he gets a big jacket going on. We gets around to minus 20. And then he runs from his car. He actually shuffles. It's a little shimmy.
Yeah. You do well in the cold. You just walk out in a sweater.
Me? Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. Starship's advanced design is said to have NASA officials expletive. That means shitting the bed.
He just goes ahead and says it.
Oh, my God. See, when you write it and you put the stars in, you have a choice to read it or not, right? You know what it says. So first of all, I have to give a little bit of an update on the last video clip we showed off Reddit that had resurfaced was actually old. So the
one where it crashed?
The one where it crashed?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that's like a year old.
Oh.
Even though the Reddit post was recent. And people had said conspiracy people had said that the reason that it's resurfacing is because people are trying to tarnish Elon.
Like us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unknowingly.
We've effectively tarnished. No, actually, I went into the clip portion and I removed that where I mentioned the date of the post. I removed that portion of it.
Oh, okay.
And in the main show, I removed that portion of it so that people can look it up. But you know, it's really strange how clips resurface. How something would be very popular like a year ago, and then depending on the type of clip it is, it can come back around.
Right.
Like almost like a fashion trend. A year later, that clip's making the rounds again.
Yeah.
I noticed this with fight clips. I noticed this with instant karma clips.
Oh yeah.
The world will just need one of those.
Or fails.
Yeah, fail clips. Yeah. The world will just need one of those at a given moment. and then inevitably it'll resurface.
Right. It fills the need.
Don't worry, Will. I fixed it up, man. You're panicking right now.
No, I just want to show the people
people out
what
there.
it was, but
Don't worry
okay.
about it.
You
No.
can keep
Well,
going.
I fixed it up, Will. Don't you worry, man. Like when you were there, you were sleeping, you were all cozy
God.
under the covers, and I was at home just fixing things up. All right.
Okay. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, it's my own fault in the first place because I was reading the date of the post instead of the date of the looking up the date of the video clip. But anyway, I wanted to make sure that we got that sorted out. But that's not what this other tab was about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to go back to it. Apparently, all right, listen. SpaceX, according to this website, Interesting Engineering, and some quotes from individuals close to the matter, apparently SpaceX is just way ahead of the game. Everybody else who's trying to do this space stuff, it's too expensive because they don't have this reusable element. The stuff that Elon's been talking about. And I listened at length when he was, last time he was on Lex Friedman's podcast, talking about how key the reusability is for this to make any sense.
Right.
To be going up to space on a frequent basis. You think about it, Mo, when you watch the sci-fi, the ships, they land.
Yeah.
The ships, they land. They refuel, they go again.
Yeah.
All right, we can't be exploding. We can't be landing in the
Can't
ocean.
build it
We
again.
can't be leaving it in space. No. We can't be, we're going to need that rocket back. So anyway, apparently the stuff that NASA's working on is like in the billions each launch. And Elon's target is like $1 million a launch in terms of cost because you're able to get so much of it back.
The precious materials.
And
It makes that big of a difference?
Target. That's a target, Mo.
Oh, okay.
It's a target, Mo.
Okay.
But yeah, it's also the difference between, like, his whole approach has been around the economic viability of the thing. That's been the target.
Yeah.
And, well, that's kind of the private approach as well, right? If you're a private company, you want to eventually you're going to have to make money with it.
Yeah.
And SpaceX is a private company. At his latest Starship presentation, SpaceX CEO Musk highlighted the fact that Starship will be reusable over and over again at a fraction of the cost of previous rockets. Here's another thing, Mo, to consider. Each time it goes up and comes back accordingly and in good order and in good shape, the cost of using it goes down.
Yeah.
The construction cost.
Right.
It's more value because the majority of the cost is upfront.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it doesn't, like refueling your car. You don't have to buy a new one every time.
Car, yeah, exactly.
I think you want to do that.
No, it's too expensive to live like that.
While it has long been known that Starship would be reusable, the advanced capabilities reportedly have other space organizations, including NASA, worried that their own in-development rocket projects would be rendered obsolete. This is coming from a top Washington space lobbyist who also goes by the name Elon Musk or his best friend. No, I'm just saying, like, this person is not labeled. There's no name there. So it's just somebody in Washington talking about space. Starship is designed to be the first reusable spacecraft that will be able to take crew and cargo to the moon and Mars before returning to Earth. By contrast, NASA's Space Launch System for its Artemis moon landing missions has gone billions of dollars over the original budget estimations and is years behind schedule. SLS mission will cost approximately $2 billion per launch.
Wow.
$2 billion for NASA's version. So I just want to make sure people realize what's going on over there. It's not just about getting up to space. It's not just about launching up there. It's about doing so in a manner that could actually be useful for humans because $2 billion, you're up and you're in and out. You're up and done. Another couple years, it's just not feasible to be doing it on a frequent basis. It's a lot of cash, Mo, for anybody.
Too much.
Even for NASA. Yeah, that's right. It's too much.
It's just too much.
You need to fly out there to their headquarters,
tell
walk
them,
straight to the boardroom and be, it's too much. What you're doing, it's too much. They're like, did Elon send you? You're like, yes. I am a lobbyist from Washington.
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
They're like, aren't you Mo from that show on the internet? You're like, no. I am a lobbyist from Washington, and that's all that I'll say about it.
Yeah.
Too much.
Fisker touts 31,000 reservations for its Ocean SUV as production draws closer. Fisker's still hanging in there, and they're touting. They're busy touting.
I like that.
You like when somebody
the
touts?
tout.
Yeah. Well, I've read enough headlines since doing this show to be very familiar with touting.
Okay.
Tout is a popular headline. It's used way more frequently than it would be used in real life. Like the last time that you said tout to me with a straight face, never happened.
Yeah.
There was no last time.
Impossible.
However, you keep feeding me headlines, and we're going to hit a tout here and there. Fisker is still on track to start production of the Ocean SUV in November, with reservations for its electric vehicle jumping to 31,000, the company said Wednesday during its fourth quarter and full year earnings call. Man, those early Fiskers were cool-looking cars. The Karma, but they just didn't really work, you know? Yeah.
Well, that's a problem.
Hey, man. Justin Bieber had one. He drove it a couple times.
This is the first time I'm seeing this.
I just really like... No, this is not the first one. This is their SUV.
Oh, okay.
The original Fisker Karma. I mean, the thing kind of... It had something going on. It had something to it. We'll see what Mo thinks about it right here.
Oh, wow.
Click
yeah,
on this,
you're right.
Click on... see, there's Bieber's... he had a chrome one. You don't have to get it in chrome, though, Mo.
That's a bit much.
It almost looks like a Ferrari, though. Click the silver one in the top left. I mean, that thing, I saw a couple of them. I mean, they were out there.
The
You know
interior
what I'm
is
realizing?
really nice.
I really like a long hood.
You're a long hood guy.
I like a long hood. It looks nice.
Man likes a long hood.
It looks like the car's wearing a mustache or something, no?
Hey, that's fine. If you're moving that fast, you rub it in with a
Disguised.
mustache. Yeah.
Ooh, the dark one looks pretty nice.
What do you guys think about the customized license plates?
Which-
Like
what
when
do mean?
you just do a vanity plate, so it's not like you write whatever you want on it on your license plate.
Oh,
I don't
right,
mind
right.
it. Oh, look
Yeah,
at
I
this
like
one.
those.
No, I'm saying, are you doing it?
I don't do it.
No, would you do it?
I would. But it would take me like weeks to decide what I'm going to write
And then
on
it has to be available as well.
Yeah. So I'd have to come up with like a list of 3. Maybe in the comments
I
section.
saw a guy the other day, and I think he had a license plate says something like the number 6 or something, or 3.
Really? Just
Right.
one?
That's got to cost you.
Yeah.
Somebody's already.
What
got
car
that.
was it? Yeah.
Oh, I was in Barrie and I saw somebody
nice
had out for a rip with the 4.
Okay.
I thought that was a funny
Out
license.
for a rip. What
Yeah.
kind of car was it?
It was a truck.
It's a truck.
And it's in Barrie.
You go
so.
out for a rip in a truck, don't you? Yeah, you would. You might do that. No, it's a big deal in places like Dubai where you try to get the lowest number possible, and they have auctions for it. So if you're driving car number 1 or something, it's a way bigger flex than whatever the car
Whoa.
happens to be,
Oh, okay.
right? Because the plate is cost millions.
Millions?
Millions.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Imagine having number 1 as a license plate. That's
Yeah.
kinda
It's just
It is-
crazy. It
yeah,
shocks you when
pretty-
you see it. Like you could write anything and nothing will be as effective as it just saying number 1.
one,
You're just like,
yeah.
oh my God. So Fisker's back and they're doing an SUV, which there's going to be a bigger market for that anyway. Everybody wants these SUVs, including Willie Doo. Maybe he gets this one. I don't know. You make any progress on what's going on with you?
I'm still looking at the Broncos.
What's going on with you?
Oh,
What?
buddy. Bronco chatter?
No, it just
No,
an
not a
open-
big update.
No, it's just what's going on with you?
I'm just looking at installation videos right now.
What does that mean?
How to customize your Bronco.
And it makes it back.
The Bronco
to the
you don't
Bronco.
have.
Yeah.
The Bronco you don't have. What would be a good
Just window shopping.
What would be a good customization?
A light bar would be kind of nice.
Easy.
Like on the top or at the front of the hood?
We were talking the
The
other day
top.
where you're like, I don't know if I can fully commit to this new vision of myself in the Bronco. And then you keep pushing it even further. Now you're hitting a
Oh,
light
yeah,
bar.
I'm deep in it. I don't know what to say.
Next thing you know, this guy's going to have a turret on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fisker is going to deliver another electric SUV that you can choose from. You can get this. You can get a Model X, a Model Y. You can get a Rivian. You can get a Ford electric SUV. You can get a GM electric SUV. Get an electric truck if you want. So many options. Anyway, what's cool about this one, it's starting at 50 grand. You can bring it all the way up to 70 grand. I just hope they can hit it. Oh no, look at that. There's a lower tier Ocean Sport priced at $37,000. Okay, never mind. Maybe they got something going on if they can deliver on the quality. Ferrari has revealed this new F1 car for 2022. And how about the red and black look to it? Look at this. I mean, how classic Ferrari is that?
with the Shell logo.
Give us a little back and forth on some of these images here. Look at that thing. Oh, dear God. Where every shape and every curve is so considered.
Yeah, and look at the vents on the side.
You know about downforce, Mo?
No, I don't.
You're going to need some.
Yeah, okay.
You want to travel like that, you're going to need some.
There's a Snapdragon ad there, too.
No, I didn't know. I don't follow a lot of F1. Maybe I should. Seems very fun. And all that stuff going down with Lewis Hamilton and whatnot. I mean, it seemed all very interesting. And I like cars. But anyway, apparently Ferrari hasn't been itself recently. Kind of been getting beat a little bit. And they're trying to put an end to that with this vehicle right here, F175. And I mean, obviously, I can't tell you whether or not that's going to happen, if they're going to put a beating on the rest of the F1 world, or if they just have something that looks absolutely amazing. But hopefully, like, look at those scoops on the side. What do you think's happening with that? You think that's for handling? You think that is for straight line speed? Look at the little bowls on each side of it.
Yeah, it's really cool looking.
You think that air can pile in there?
Yeah, I saw there was vents on the side when you go to the next few pictures.
How much does this weigh? Does it say?
It's light, man. It's light. It's powerful. You've never felt anything like it, Will. Let's see. Black front and rear wings, as well as black halo and black numbering on both the nose and the engine cover. The car also features a logo celebrating 75 years since the first Ferrari production car was released.
Whoa.
Drivers Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc were on hand for the launch event ahead of the season that will see both look to build on a year of momentum for Ferrari. Yeah, they bounced back in 2020. They bounced back from their worst campaign in 40 years. It's tough out there, man. It's very competitive. You got the Mercedes and so on out there. I think, Will, we're going to have to start paying attention, you and I.
All right.
That's it. We're F1 fans now, starting today.
All right.
Aptera's Beta SEV beat a Tesla Model 3 and Audi R8 GT Spider in a drag race. What the hell is an app? Oh, my God.
Remember the Aptera?
Yes, I do.
The solar car?
The one-seater.
Yes.
Ran off solar panels. What did they do? They beefed it up. It's probably really light.
This is their beta version, which actually beat the Audi by, well, I mean, it's arguable, but they were neck and neck. And they had like a video.
Solar EV startup Aptera Motors posted a video that puts the beta version of its upcoming SEV against an alpha version, a Tesla Model 3, and an alpha version of the same car, and an Audi R8 GT Spider in a desert drag race. It's a close race. The Aptera appears to just barely edge out the competition in a quarter-mile sprint.
Yeah, the Tesla Model 3, I think it's recorded as an old one, maybe before 2020 version.
Not even a performance or anything like that.
Yeah, so that one was third. And then the Spider and this Aptera was, I think, first and second. There is very close for them.
Weren't they supposed to bring one over here?
Yeah, I think we're still working on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love to check this thing out. I mean, it is such a wild looking. Look at it, Mo.
So that's the Alpha, Model 3, the Beta, and the Audi.
I mean,
the Spider. Yeah.
I don't want to have a collision with that car, but I do want to have a rip. What did you say, Mo?
Out for a rip?
I might want to go out for a rip in the Aptera.
Yeah.
Wow, look how close that is at the line. Holy.
I see what you're saying about like arguable.
And I suppose another thing they're showing off here is how much better Gen 2 is from Gen 1, because you see Gen 1 all the way on the top. The key for these guys is just how lightweight it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
What can we take out of the car?
Yeah, they made it so incredibly lightweight, and it all has to do with your power to weight ratio. You know things like this, Mo.
I know a few things.
Power to weight ratio. That was the. Have you ever heard of the manufacturer Koenigsegg?
No.
Show those. Show one of those, Will.
I don't even know how to spell it.
No, nobody does. You don't know how to spell it or say it, but they had a car called One, I believe, and they were aiming at a 1-to-1 ratio. Let's see if you can bring it up.
Is it 1?
I think it might be. Yeah, there it is.
The 1-1.
Look at
1-1.
that. Lovely.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, forget about the Bronco. This is what you got to pull up in.
Imagine Otis just jumping out of that car.
1,341 horsepower.
I don't have that Tim Cook money.
Look how low it is. You don't even want to drive that well. Imagine around town. You're going to be so stressed out with that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. If you're trying to buy a car, multi-million-dollar car.
Yeah.
You
have a multi-million-dollar liability.
No, but I'm saying you got to have tens of millions of dollars to even feel comfortable driving it.
Right.
That it's not really even that big of a deal. That's what people need to. And even then, you got people that don't even get into it. Mm-hmm. I don't even think Tim Cook. Remember when they were talking about Tim Cook's house getting leaked and it was just like a regular street? Mm-hmm. There was no gate, nothing. They're like, wait a second, guy's got $1 billion.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Solar powered Aptera. It's very cool. If you haven't checked them out, check out the website. And Will said we're getting in the studio. He promised. So
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, Whoopi, Aquafina, Chappelle. None was canceled. Is this a new cultural detente?
What's a detente?
I don't know.
Like a movement or something?
Go ahead, look it up for us. The key thing here, the easing of hostility or strained relations, especially between countries. Okay, cool. So are we chilling out? Can people not get canceled? Is canceling canceled?
I don't know.
Is canceling canceled? Here's my thing. It doesn't even really matter which side of it. Like, I feel like Whoopi gets a shot, Rogan gets a shot, Aquafina everybody gets a shot. Mm-hmm. And Chappelle gets, you name it. Well, you get a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even me?
You get a shot, then you get
Even
another.
Will? No, Will doesn't.
You don't get it. Let's not get carried away.
Okay.
So, like, when the Whoopi thing went down, my reaction wasn't any different. Here's still a thing that somebody said, awkward and lazy and just whatever, not a good thing. And same with Rogan and same with, I don't actually know what happened with Aquafina. I think she quit Twitter. People started saying they got mad at her. And then some people are saying to leave her alone. She seemed nice to me. I don't know. I saw the, what was it? Spider-Man? No. What was the superhero movie she was in? Shang-Chi. Yeah, I saw the Shang-Chi, man.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I watched that. My kids were like, hey, watch this. Yeah, there's a cool, there's definitely a cool fight scene. I'll give it that.
All right.
If you like a cool fight scene. But she's in it, and she's fun and funny, and then people said, hey, we're mad at you because you're appropriating, I guess, her accent and her lingo and so forth. And I guess she got upset on Twitter and quit Twitter, if I'm right.
So did she apologize?
She might have come back. Yeah, she did. She was, I think, at first, and then I think she was just like, I'm off Twitter. Forget it. I can't.
It's too much.
I can't deal with it. But like, everybody's got all their reasons and different reasons. There's a very noisy environment out there, and but maybe we've learned something about this canceling. Like, maybe the way it works is that when it gets to such a wide, maybe people have to be willing to be canceled, because if they just continue on their business, are they canceled? Right? Like, even if Rogan gets kicked off Spotify, does he disappear? You know, the only guy who I feel like got canceled was Trump.
Yo,
like,
so true. He's gone.
They just evaporated him.
Yeah. That is actually so true. He just doesn't exist
Because I
anymore.
think even Alex Jones still has a show going on.
Really?
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
Still
going.
Will's like, yes, I watch every night. No, because I feel like I saw some clips spit out from it or something. But anyway, yeah, if you're Aquafina, if you're Whoopi, if you're whatever, then keep doing your thing, trying to navigate these waters. It's so, you open your mouth and you're dead. You're
dangerous
dead.
out here.
You open your mouth and you're dead. Who knows what Mo might say?
Okay.
It's a risky business over there. Last thing he was walking into the offices over at NASA, remember?
Yeah.
Right.
That's dangerous, Mo.
Too much.
Yeah, that's a threat, Mo. Too much. It's all too much. They're like, you got a point. We're closing up shop. We're going to go work at SpaceX now. Yeah. Percentage of LGBTQ adults in the U.S. has doubled in the past decade, Gallup finds. Gallup, they're the poll guys. They're always polling. That's their whole thing. They're like, elections coming up. Here's that word again, Gallup coming back. If younger Americans continue to come out at increasing rates, Gallup predicts the proportion of adults who identify as LGBTQ will exceed 10% in the near future. Why would it be 10 if it's... Oh, the number has doubled, I guess. So from 5 to 10, something in that range. What was interesting about this headline to me is I was wondering, like, you're doing a poll to start. And in different times, like, let's say, I don't know, a decade ago, people may answer the poll differently, even if they might feel uncomfortable answering.
Of course, it was not as accepting.
Exactly. Yeah. They may. So it's like, have people become more comfortable expressing that element, or is it actually an increasing
I think it's the
number?
earlier.
You think it's the first part?
Yeah, I think it's just a more accepting environment.
The percent of U.S. adults who identify as something other than heterosexual has doubled over the past 10 years, from 3.5% in 2012 to 7.1%, according to Gallup. Gallup found that the increase is due to high LGBT self-identification, particularly bisexual, among Generation Z adults 18 to 25. It asked more than 12,000 U.S. adults how they identified during telephone interviews last year. It found that younger U.S. adults are much more likely than older generations to identify this way. The polling thing is it's tough. It's a tough one, the polling. They call you up. You're on the phone. They call you up. What, they call your cell phone? You answer that?
That's a bizarre one. Why is it done over the phone?
Well, how else you can do it, Mo? What you can do is send an email? Yeah. You're not answering that email, dude.
No, I know. But I'm also not answering that phone.
Could they send like a survey through mail?
That's what I would imagine.
Yeah, this is where things get so wild, because then you start to realize who picks up the phone.
You need to already know.
What percentage of heterosexuals pick up the phone? I'm trying to say that is that equivalent across the board? Is there any demographic element which makes you more or less likely to pick up the phone?
Right.
I want that poll.
Who's even part of the? Yeah, I get it.
I want that poll.
That's why I think mailing is better.
What is the... Okay, so I'm 36 years old. I want to know what the percentage of 36-year-old males that pick up their phone from a number they don't know. That's what I want to know right now. What is that percentage? Because I definitely
really
do
low.
not.
Yeah, me neither.
So,
my phone is just ringing right now.
A number you didn't know? Yeah. And it's happening more frequently now, these random calls. Yeah. And I look up the number after. I'll Google the number to see if it's any actual business that I need to call back. And it never is.
No, it's always a scam.
It's always a scam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every time. And if it came back and it's like, oh, that's Gallup's phone number, I'm still not calling him back. So what I'm trying to say is you can't get my specs.
Yeah,
like, you're never going to find out my specs. Because...
what would be the best way to reach you?
But that's the thing, man. It's really hard.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's good information to have, and it also brings into the conversation this idea of data gathering, which we've talked about with a variety of social media companies and technology companies and so forth. Is that in an age where we don't respond to these things, how do we find out what's really going on?
What the true number is?
How do we figure out what's really going on?
Yeah,
I don't know.
If no one picks up their phone and no one tracks anything, I guess we can just look at whatever happens to be trending and be like, I guess that's what everyone's doing. Whatever's on the trending page becomes the only truth.
So do you believe this?
Although even there, people would say that is manipulated. They would say, oh, I don't know about that trending page. I think people, you want to know how you get the truth, Will?
I'd love to know.
You come to youtube.com/LouLater every single day. At least we're trying, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not Gallup. Last I checked, your name's not Gallup.
Yeah.
And we're trying, man. Both sides are two sides. Both sides.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is really tough to record correctly.
Yeah, to have like proper
And if
proper
if their only way is through
phone
calling,
calls, I don't
yeah,
think that's
that's,
super accurate.
Here's another thing I would say. I would say the type of person that pick up their phone in 2012 is different than the type of person pick up their phone in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2022, 2047.
Keep going.
I might have to. Because I feel like in 2012, I picked up my phone. I would have been in this poll in 2022. I would have been in that age group, or in 2012. I would have been in that age group. I would have been in that poll.
Okay, so maybe it's not. It's good. The phone call works
I'm
for.
not saying because of my age. I'm saying because 2012 was a different time. We weren't overwhelmed.
Okay, you didn't hate your phone.
I wouldn't say I hate it, but I would say my relationship is different
Yeah.
than it used to be. I mean, there's so much more stuff coming at you
Right.
in 2022.
It gets annoying sometimes. You're just like,
There's brand new social media platforms 2022. I don't need to tell you. UAE to issue crypto licenses in a bid to become an industry hub. I think they might have just had some sort of crypto thing because wasn't Gary Vaynerchuk there?
was he?
I don't know. I feel like he was giving an interview. Did you see that interview where it was somebody from like
CNBC or something?
yeah,
like
and
that
she
woman?
was giggling and like laughing at him?
Yeah,
was
and
a-
just talking in front of like, obviously it was like was it a webcam chat, like a Zoom call or
Yeah,
something?
exactly.
And it was just like interrupting him, and like that there's gonna be delays. Maybe she's not seasoned in interviewing.
You sound pissed off, Will.
I just think he didn't get a good shot at explaining himself.
No, it was very bizarre, and I don't know if it came from a discomfort. Right, I'm not sure if the comfort level was lacking to begin with. That maybe that individual didn't want to conduct that interview, or maybe there was something else funny going on in the studio at the time or something. But it did seem very
Immature.
unprofessional. I
Unprofessional.
don't know. Like you ask the guy to come on, and then you're giggling the whole time. Okay, maybe it is kind of funny. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know,
that's
man.
what I do here.
I don't know. It could have been somebody behind the scenes that was just goofing around, or you see bloopers from news shows all the time. Because anything could get monotonous, and all of a sudden you're cracking jokes with your pals. But either way, I think he handled it pretty well. I don't know if you saw the clip, but he remained composed, and he was like, she was kind of trying to imply that crypto types are nasty types, and that it's the worst of mankind that's involved in NFTs. And he was like, well, it kind of happens everywhere.
I feel like I need to look for it
No,
because
no,
I
no,
might
you're
get
good.
in trouble with the CNBC. It might not be them.
You're good. Well, people know what you're talking about.
I only got one shot, or else I'm canceled. Remember?
no,
right, yeah.
No. It doesn't. You can't be anymore.
Yeah, didn't you hear the new cancel culture is canceled?
Can't. I didn't say it. I don't know who said it, but you can't
People
cancel
in the
anymore.
chat said it.
Canceling is
Oh,
canceled.
okay.
We just did it today. We canceled canceling. So now let the people actually hear it, Will. Let's see here
okay.
how pissed off you really are. That's what we want to know.
All right. Time to demonetize.
The Middle Eastern country is gearing up to become a global crypto hub. It makes sense because the UAE obviously shifted focus a while ago away from oil and gas and towards tourism. And you think about tourism and you're like, okay, what can you do with that? Well, now you can have conventions, and now you can be a focal point for the different groups in emerging industries to meet up in one place.
Right.
It's you think about the tech convention. Where does it happen? Las Vegas. What's in Las Vegas? A bunch of hotels, a bunch of tourism. So you think of crypto in the same light, that crypto is some next technology. It needs a place it can go every year,
Right.
where people can interact with one another. There's so many emerging companies and projects.
It's a lot of money in Dubai.
And you've already got money there and investors and things, so they can get early dibs and be involved in these conversations. And I suppose if you think about it geographically, it's kind of the halfway point between Asia and
The States.
yeah, or even Europe, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a bit of a trip from this side of the world, but yeah, geographically, I think it's in a pretty decent strategic location because crypto's blowing up in Asia as well. So. Well, let's see what it says. Scroll down a little bit here. The United Arab Emirates is preparing to issue federal licenses for virtual asset service providers by the end of the quarter in a bid to attract crypto companies to the country. They want the whole company to come, never mind a convention. Securities and Commodities Authority is in the final stage of setting up a framework. That's another thing. They can move quickly because political system's a little different over there. Having considered the approaches to the U.S., U.K., and Singapore, the UAE would take a hybrid approach. The SCA and central bank will be responsible for regulation, with regional financial centers determining their day-to-day procedures on licenses, according to Bloomberg. The government also wants to create a favorable environment for crypto mining, which is interesting because it's very hot over there.
Underwater.
Nice. Atlantis. Crypto, the mega crypto rig city underwater.
Because they could.
The new Atlantis. Abu Dhabi's International Financial Center, a finance hub and free trade zone, issued the first crypto exchange license to Matrix in May 2020 and 2021. 3 exchanges headquartered at the center were fully operational, while another 3 were in the process of launching. So I don't know if I guess it's Dubai and Abu Dhabi. They're both going to play a role here.
You want to run an ad? Take a break?
What was that? Yeah, let's do it. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Remember, this is the important part, all right? I need you guys to pay full attention to what you're about to see. These very important messages. We'll be right back. We got lots to talk about. Today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped, the best in men's grooming. I have been using a lawnmower for a while now with the ceramic blades, the nice little charge dock. This is just a good all-around grooming tool. 7,000 RPM motor. That's what I look for. When I consider a grooming tool, I look straight to the RPM.
Nothing less.
I'm an RPM guy. What can I say? This device is waterproof. It's wireless charging. It has a spotlight on it because, of course, this is a trimmer for the groin and body grooming. Honestly, you can use it anywhere. I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. It's legendary. Everybody knows about it, talks about it. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can try it yourself. But the key, for me at least, is these ceramic blades, which somehow, through some magic, are just a little bit more gentle when you use them. You can get it in a kit called the Performance Package. Look at that luxury grooming kit. That'll give you the Lawnmower 4.0, a weed whacker for the ear and nose, which, by the way, if you're getting up there in years like myself, you start to realize you start to get hairs growing where you least expected it. You gotta adjust to this new, the new landscape, let's say.
And in abundance.
You see that with the lawnmower with the landscape?
Yeah.
You see how I did that there, Will?
And they also have an ultra premium collection with the 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant, and hydrating body spray. Personally, I've been using the body wash, and you smell and you feel extra manly. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code LULATER at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code LULATER at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle, thanks to Manscaped.
We're also sponsored by ExpressVPN, the VPN that just works. Go further with the #1 trusted leader in VPN. This is incredibly simple, easy to use. If you're not using a VPN, this thing could be very useful for you. Not only are you getting secure access worldwide, but you're also able to unlock your favorite content from different regions. You can use this on Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android. You can even install it directly to your router, so all devices that connect through it for your own protection and privacy. But like I said, sometimes I want to watch something and it's locked in a different region or something along these lines. Or even you might be blacked out in your own region, in which case you can boot up your VPN, in this case Premium VPN, and have the speed necessary as well for streaming that content in a resolution you're going to be happy with. So 160 locations, 94 countries, and unlimited bandwidth. ExpressVPN.
Visit expressvpn.com/LULATER. That's expressvpn.com/LULATER. And you'll get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/LULATER.
Oh, baby. Thank you very much to Manscaped and ExpressVPN. I'm sure you guys will love those services as much as I do. And there's more to talk about here, including this story, which caught my attention this morning. Dance for Love. This was a situation, I guess it was on Chinese social media. There's a woman, she posted a video of herself dancing in front of her sick husband. And she's doing some kind of one of the popular dances. Like it looked like it would belong on TikTok or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Douyin.
Trendy dance.
Douyin.
Is this sad?
Oh,
This looks really sad.
Hey, man. So anyway, her husband is in a vegetative state. He had a stroke, I think, in 2019. And so he's in the back there. And so she posts this video. She's doing dance moves in front of him. And then the immediate reaction on social media was like, how dare you? That's so rude.
well, yeah, that's my feeling as well.
Right. But it turns out upon further investigation that she has been essentially the primary caregiver for this guy since 2019, and it's part of their routine that she gets up, tries to move him around a little bit, does a little massage.
Oh, okay.
There's a video that emerged of the whole thing, which was a lot more than her dance portion.
Oh, okay.
And she claims, or she's kind of famous now because of that clip going viral. But people were really harsh. One of the comments was like, you're dancing in front of him to piss him off so he dies so you can get a different husband.
Whoa.
That was one of the comments.
That's a heavy jump. What are you saying?
And here's a quote from her. I only meant to share our routine about fighting illness. It never occurred to me that it would trigger criticism. But from another perspective, this has made me famous, and there's nothing wrong with that. He spent 2 months in a vegetative state after he was admitted to hospital with a weak heartbeat, where doctors said he had a brain hemorrhage. Now he can communicate with simple finger movements. Now take the name of the girl in this article, go up to the top. You need the full name. Very top. There you go. Right there. And I'll show you the video clip. I don't know why South China Morning Post didn't post the video clip. That's a little bit strange to me to begin with, but you can find it here. Click on the videos tab. Now that you have the name. Maybe get rid of the word dance. And there it is. Okay, so this is a...
Probably in Vietnam.
Yeah, so it's been reposted, the video, which was originally on Chinese social media. But you can play it here and you can get a better idea of exactly what it looked like. Otis, get out of the way. Otis is trying to eat the
mouse. Yeah.
mouse cursor. So anyway, it blew up to the extent that it got international coverage in a number of countries. So this is the dance. Does this change anybody's impression?
Is this on like Douyin, the TikTok?
I don't know actually which
version?
social media it was posted to originally, but something like that, I think it's fair to say.
Oh, weird.
But then it shows the remainder of the routine here. There's a massage going on, and
Okay.
it's a tough gig.
Yeah.
The carrying and whatnot. She's cleaning out his airways, and does she get to do a little dance?
Yeah. Make her job a little bit more fun.
Does she get to do a little dance here and there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think intent is very important for like this video. It's not just her doing a dance. Like the intent is she's taking care of her husband and having a little fun while
She gets to do a little dance.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Because there was a clip, I remember, a viral clip. It was a few months ago, maybe a year ago. It was like a teenage girl in front of her dying grandfather doing something like that. Some kind of dance. But trying to do it in like a sentimental way. Because that's how teens communicate.
Right.
Is the dance move, and then it like says something. Or
That's how they communicate.
That's how they communicate.
Like in high school, everyone's just like dancing.
you just look across and just like... Listen, what do I know? What do I know? But anyway, this was a weird one where people thought it was one thing. It turned out to be another thing. Well, I don't know what the lesson is. Maybe people are really quick to react thinking they know the whole thing.
Right.
It's like the knee-jerk type of response. We're bombarded with information. It's all transmission, reception. There's not a lot of time to really
Until the next thing hits you.
comprehend.
Yeah.
So you just go, boom. Come with your feedback, move on to the next thing, etc. Screw this person, and then it turns out that She's already doing a lot of other people wouldn't sign up to do. I mean, the hospital
No.
told her, hey, this is what it's going to look like for the next however. And she's like, I'm going to take care of him.
Wow.
I'm going to take care of him. Book of Boba Fett. That's my Bobby Fett. Finale tops viewership of Mandalorian finale. Why it could be important for Disney stock. What do you think, Will? Did you check out any episode of Bobby Fett?
No,
0.
I was too busy watching Kanye.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a Jeen-Yuhs,
Yeah.
which I watched. I watched a little bit of it. I listened to a little bit of the audio on my way driving here.
Okay.
Really?
Man, that shows you how goddamn busy I am. It's just nutty.
Yeah.
It's just nutty.
Are you just listening, like the audio version, or what?
I just play the Netflix in the
In this
car
tiny
stereo.
little screen.
No, I don't watch it. I'm driving. I just
jeez.
listen. I just listen. Actually, that's how I have to consume a number of YouTube videos
Okay. Yeah.
these days. Is I just play
Right,
it in the
yeah.
background and listen to it because I'm a ping pong ball. Like what they're doing to me.
Well, it's also it's really long, right? I haven't watched it either.
You know what's happened to me in the community out there? I'm a ping pong ball. You got to be over here. You got to be over there. You got to be over there.
You're just moving around all the time.
Yeah, with the kids and whatnot, they got so many activities.
Yeah.
They got so
So
many.
much room for
They got
activities.
so many activities, guys.
Did you? I guess you didn't finish.
So that's
watching-
why I have to watch things they want to watch as well. If I'm gonna watch something,
they're not into Boba Fett anymore.
talking about Bobby.
Sure.
Say it once. Well,
I did say it,
say it one time. Say
but I
Bobby.
was about to get canceled.
It feels good. Say Bobby Fett. Anyway, no, they are. It's just even that is hard for us to get the time. We're out of the house all the time, but we're probably like 2 episodes back right now. But I was surprised to see that it actually beat the Mandalorian numbers.
Yeah.
Season 1 finale, Book of Boba Fett, was watched by 1.5 million U.S. households from Wednesday through Sunday in its first week. The figure is 36% higher than the first 5 days for the Season 2 finale, Mandalorian. To my eyes, The Mandalorian was the better show. To my eyes at this point.
Oh yeah.
But I guess Mandalorian's success drove more people towards this show. So you had all that group to begin with because there's the tie-ins. And then you have all the new people that Disney has been able to attract to its streaming service. And then they're promoting this new Boba Fett show like crazy. So I guess that's how it all works. But if you can only watch one, I would point you towards The Mandalorian. But maybe people they can't get The Mandalorian fix, and then they go to this other one. I'll finish it at some point. I don't know what I'm going to finish first, the Kanye one or this one. But I don't know if it even counts if I'm just listening in the car. Do people feel like that counts?
I think it counts.
Because I got the gist of it, you know? It's like I'm listening to an audiobook. It's a documentary.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I don't think you need to watch it. It's nice to like glance over every now and then.
So are you one of these guys you can watch kind of in the background? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You can put it on and you can do other activities.
Yeah. Like right now, I'm doing thumbnails.
Well, right now you are. But I mean, at home, you might be doing a couple of chores and you have something on in the background. But Will, on the other hand, he gets his blankie, he gets his
gets cozy for
popcorn.
it.
And
And
Oh,
there
this is
are
by
there
my
are
side.
shows like
oh, man. So you actually make an event. You go, I'm going to watch something right now.
No, but specifically for Jeen-Yuhs, Kanye's doc, I felt like it was a monumental event.
Okay.
What do you do? You take a shower beforehand?
Scrub myself
Why
clean.
is that hilarious?
I just want to breathe it all in.
Oh my god.
Will preparing himself for his big date. He lights a candle.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh my
me.
God.
It's just me and you, Kanye.
Genius.
I have all his albums lined up, ready to go.
Oh man, no. Listen, there was a time in my life where, for sure, I would have made an event out of certain content, where I would have just stopped doing everything. But I'm definitely currently in a place where it's more peripheral. Like I can have, like Mo said, I can barely have something on. I can sort of dip in and dip out here and there, but it's just too many tasks, man. I can't. I need to find the time, and maybe I will for this one. Maybe I'll find the time for this one. In order to put it all together. I know people are probably screaming right now, like, what do you mean? You don't have an hour? Like, what's the matter with you? And it's just, you know what I was doing last night, man?
Tell me.
Cardboard.
That's not a thing.
Cardboard. I got home. I had to go out of town for the kids' hockey game. Okay. Come back. I'm talking like 45 minutes away towards you.
Okay.
I get home. I don't even know what time it is. They're hungry. I got to pick up food for them. It's like 10 p.m. I get home. I open the garage and I got so much damn cardboard. I got shocking, ungodly amounts of cardboard. Like I'm running some sort of shipping receiving facility.
Right. Is it?
I'm UPS.
It's something you have to break down too. They're boxes.
I'm
Oh my
UPS.
God, yeah.
I am UPS. I put on my brown outfit beforehand.
You take a shower.
I took a shower. I lit a candle. It's my cardboard time.
You open the door and you're just shocked.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, my wife yelled at me. She's like, "What is this? Who lives like this?" And I'm like, "Oh God, you're right. Who lives like this?" But I'm like, I want to watch Genius. It's like, no. Maybe I should have put the Genius on with the cardboard and Genius together. That's my version of your popcorn.
Why don't you tell the kids allowance and then they could break down the cardboard?
Because they're not going to do it right.
There's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong
I need
way.
efficiency here. You understand? They both had homework. So outside of their other commitments that they have going on in their very dense and rich life here, they also still go to school. They have school. They're school children.
How do they communicate?
Through dance moves. Anyway, so yeah, they took one look at me. My younger one, he came to the door and he was fully ready to go. He had his hat on. He's like, "Let's do it." And I was like, "Man, you know what? It's okay. Go do your homework. It's fine. I got this." Like, but actually in a slightly more angry way. Like I was like, it's like, "Get out of here. I got it." You know, in a slightly more irritated 10 p.m. type of way. So I was doing cardboard. I was cutting cardboard and folding cardboard. I swear to you, for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
That's a workout.
2 hours and 15 minutes. Because I got an operation going on over there.
Where's the cardboard coming from?
How dare you? Where's the cardboard? You ever heard of Amazon before?
Yeah.
Where's the cardboard? I want to know. I tweeted this morning. I said, "What's after cardboard?" I woke up this morning. That's why I tweeted. I put that on a Lou Later Twitter.
Oh, okay.
What's after cardboard?
What do people got to say?
No, people thought I was being like, I actually meant literally what
like,
comes after
somebody help me
cardboard.
here.
Can we do something else, ladies and gentlemen? If something is coming, like, is it the best version? Because can I get something that can crumple up better? I want a packaging material which crumples into a ball after. I don't want to pull out a knife, start cutting tape, folding, packing into other boxes.
Right.
I know it's very reusable. I know from a renewable standpoint, cardboard is pretty much as good as it gets from what I understand, like compared to plastics and things like that. But I imagine a futuristic packaging thing. Maybe it uses air and the whole thing can be popped.
Oh, like bubble wrap.
Like what you see on the inside of the box, but maybe slightly more dense. So I can but that's plastic. I need a paper product, some kind of paper product, which can compress really easily. I can just crumple it, and I have a tiny little thing that my bigger thing came in, especially since so much more of it is local. In other words, the distribution centers are getting closer and closer, so that last leg is getting shorter and shorter.
So it doesn't need to...
Like, for example, if I order groceries for delivery, it's just a paper bag. Give me a paper bag, I'll do it in a paper bag. I can do it. I can do it. I can crumple.
It won't take you 2 hours.
I can crumple.
Yeah, the whole plastic tape on the boxes, it's a nightmare.
No, Amazon is doing paper tape with the strings.
Sure, but you still have to like cut it.
You still have to cut it.
You know, it's
You
a
still
whole
have to-
process
Also,
to flat.
For me, whenever I order anything off Amazon, the box is so much bigger than the actual
everybody, people talk about this, but I have to imagine, I don't work in one of these facilities, but I have to imagine it's so hard to keep these insane deadlines.
Yeah.
That they are chucking and they're go, go, go.
Whatever's open.
And it's a very simple procedure when it comes to a box. But I don't know, man. There's going to be a service in the future where it's like some sort of place that your stuff gets shipped to, and you leave all the stuff there. You roll up and you just take the actual goods, and the boxes and everything stay at that station or something, like a pickup location.
Yeah.
That you don't have to leave with all that paper, because I'm telling you, I don't even know. I mean, I understand I got a lot of people in my household, so it's probably a little bit more intense.
No,
Sure.
but actually, I'm just thinking about it. My dad just bought another blue bin because we keep filling.
It's just going up and up.
Yeah, we keep filling them.
The
so we had to buy
more
another
stuff
one.
we're ordering, it's a ton more waste, man. And like I said, I know it's relatively renewable, but I'm looking for the next. It's going to be innovative. It's like somebody got to think of it.
All right.
We need
let's
that
get it.
next. We need that next thing, because this is becoming way too big a part of our lives.
Sure.
Maybe Elon can do something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's recycling.
No, I'm like,
rockets.
forget about space. I'm
Stop
like,
with the
forget
space.
about space. Let's focus the attention here.
On this cardboard. We
This
have too
problem
much.
that's facing everyone. I don't know. Somebody in the chat's gonna solve it, or somebody in the comments here. It's a
They're gonna solve.
yes.
Your
Solve cardboard,
problem?
man. Solve cardboard.
Okay.
It's a big problem facing the earth. Think of all the lost hours of potential productivity and problem solving that could occur if we weren't spending hours and hours just folding.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Okay.
Donda West is the heart and soul of Kanye West doc Genius. Okay, so I did see some clips, like with a 1-minute clip floating around Twitter, because it was a trending topic this morning as I was gathering things for this show.
What was the clip?
It was when she said, "Giant looks in the mirror and sees nothing."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't stand out to you.
Where was it?
They're sitting at the kitchen table.
Oh, okay. At her house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people love that clip. They're like, "Oh, damn! Imagine having that type of support." They're like, anybody with that support would have made it. To have a fan like that. I hate to break it to you. I knew a lot of people who had moms as their biggest fans, and it didn't go that way. So you got to have some. You got to have a lot to. It's a comprehensive type of package, but it sure does not hurt to have some support like that, and to have that emotion and mood. And again, I haven't watched the whole thing, but many people are giving her some due credit for her contribution to well, everything that happened, really.
Yeah.
All that music and motivation and whatever else. And I mean, your parents play a big role. Your mother plays a big role. Like, this is a developmental stuff. This is who you are. A lot of it hedges on these interactions and these relationships. And if it weren't for this documentary, I certainly would not have had the insight into it to that extent. I mean, I knew there was a lot. I mean, he called the record. He's constantly talking about his mom. But here you see firsthand what's going on. So maybe watching the doc is worthwhile just for that extent to get a little bit more insight over there. But you know, that's the other thing that happens now with Netflix shows is that the clips go on Twitter. The same thing happened with the Michael Jordan thing. All the memes and clips, they just go on Twitter.
Sure.
So you kind of feel like you watched it. Like it seems that with Netflix docs, there is no spoiler thing.
Yeah.
Whereas
Which
with
is really bizarre.
yeah, if you got like the Mandalorian type stuff, people don't really put clips onto social media.
No.
I guess because it's more like the documentary is more like it's what happened, and people kind of put like their ideas into it. Whereas a Mandalorian or Boba Fett, it's like the story, and people don't want the story spoiled.
I hear you, but so it could have either effect on you, right? I think some people see the clips, and I think it's a big bonus for Netflix because it's people go, oh, what's that from? And then all of a sudden they're on Netflix or they're getting a subscription or whatever in order to watch the whole thing. But others might feel like they got the gist of it too. Where if you're
it's like, I'm good. I don't need to watch the whole thing.
Every time an episode comes out, you just watch some of the clips that are posted on Netflix. So Netflix got to be careful about the right amount. I'm sure they know this because they'll put the Netflix logo at the end. So these are the clips they put out are the ones they want. And I think they police any more than that.
Right.
So they kind of treat it like little mini teasers every time an episode drops. For these real life documentary style. They were doing the same thing, I think, with the Michael Jordan one was on Netflix too, right?
Yeah, The Last Dance.
Yeah, The Last Dance. Yeah, it's a very similar feeling I'm having right now, as far as the social media interaction.
Sure.
With the documentary style being published to Netflix.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to this this duo, these directors who created it, because it's all footage that they filmed. Like, there's no, at least so far, there isn't like interviews or anything like that. there's a narrative, but it's all footage from the past.
Which is really cool because it's
Yeah.
just captured and
Like compared to Last Dance, I mean, you know, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, like they were interviewed, but
Yeah,
this
talking
is
heads.
just full on footage.
Okay, but I'm not. I understand what you're saying, but are you suggesting that is better than if they would have had Kanye to interview for the whole thing?
I think so.
I think so. I would agree with him.
Oh, interesting. So
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to hear his side of these moments?
No,
now.
and I think that's like because then it feels way less biased this way. And on top of that, with talking heads, they guide the story in a direction, right? And I know the editor's doing the same thing with the footage he has, but that's the magic of it. This is just already footage that's already been recorded. You can't do anything. You can't finesse it with, and then this happened.
No, but I guess I'm talking more from the standpoint of information gathering, that you would for sure just get more context if you had the access to the individual.
Yeah.
Like conducting an interview is going to uncover things that weren't captured.
So would you have liked to see Kanye kind of directing this footage and kind of giving his insight on the time?
For the record, that could happen, right, in upcoming episodes? Or is this going to be the
Sure, yeah.
form? Or maybe
there's
this is
two
the.
more,
I don't
right?
know.
Yeah.
Maybe in the last episode or something, there's an interview. Maybe it's a new form. I'm all for creativity. Like I'm not saying one style is better than the other. It's just when you spoke so strongly about it, I was like, well, interviews aren't always bad in
No,
documentaries.
The Last Dance was amazing.
Right.
You know, I just think that this is such a raw style that it's very organic in a sense. Kanye didn't have any directorial say with this
Right,
film at
Which
all.
is
Right.
a documentary.
But for the record, if you look at Last Dance, I'm not just talking about Jordan. I mean, they had other basketball players. Like the clip with Isaiah Thomas was like legendary, or Gary Payton or his own teammates. Like you could have had. Imagine if you had Jay-Z in an interview over here.
Sure, yeah. I just can't, like, just based on the flow of this, like, I just can't imagine how he would add more to this documentary.
Especially
That's-
Kanye, I think he
Wow.
would muddy the waters a little bit.
I
mean,
know,
that,
but-
like, even in, like, the footage here,
Well, you're
like, he
talking
goes
about
through,
it.
like,
I know, but see, that's the difference between talking about it like a piece of art versus a documentation of an event that happened. If we were investigating an event that took place, the footage is one component. But like, if let's say it was a criminal event, what happens by gathering people's perspectives is you get the before, you get the after the camera started rolling,
Sure.
you get it's context.
Yeah.
It's texture. Like, for example, okay, there's a clip. For somebody who hasn't watched it yet, this is what social media has made me aware of. There's a clip where he walks into Rockefeller and he approaches somebody and he's going around the office trying to play All Falls Down, right?
yeah.
And the reaction is lukewarm, to say the least. Okay, so that
Now, would that be better if Kanye was Kanye now is talking about the time he went to Rockefeller?
Well,
and
I'm
how
going to
he
give you
tried
an
to impress
example. I'm
people?
going to give you an example of when you make the artistic exchange to say we want this to feel this way instead of having the interview is you miss information. And not misinformation, you miss
Sure, yeah.
information.
Yeah.
So, for example, the office that he was in, that woman now has been made famous on Twitter as far as like, how can you not bop your head to this song? She's just sitting there like, well, whatever.
Yeah. I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like it's more interpretation to the viewer. Because if there is no context of like this person who's giving context to the actual clip.
So do you know who that person is?
No.
See, that's my problem. That's what would have happened had you had an interview. You would have been able to disclose that. So she's getting killed on social media right now for not knowing what good music is. Meanwhile, she got an entire career. She made all types of hits. She's not just some random marketing intern. She's a person with a Wikipedia page. You can look her up, but no one's talking about that.
No.
So but this thing is going to be bigger than whatever her legacy is. And now she's going to be known as the person who didn't bop her head to that song. Meanwhile, she probably got 1,000 different people playing their tracks on any given day.
Right.
And it's like, you have to come from a relatively skeptical point of view. But This is going to be Kanye fans. This is going to be people looking in the rearview mirror who know it was a huge hit, platinum, whatever.
Yeah.
So my point is not about enjoyment and not about entertainment, because we watch fiction. We watch stuff that never even happened. My point is when you have a real story that took place, you want to try your best to get the facts straight.
Fill in the blanks.
As much as possible. And so I would say one of the downsides, we're just talking about form. We're not talking about story. We're just talking about form. One of the downsides with keeping it really artistic, because you're definitely illustrated the upsides.
Yeah.
Upsides are you don't get stuck in this old format of like, oh, we're sitting back down in a goddamn room. It feels probably more like the energy that was around him at the time. That you get to really take a vehicle back in time. If you sit down and you have to keep going between right now and the past. And I think that's why Last Dance went back and forth.
Right.
It wasn't linear. Last Dance was
With like the
time
past.
the time frame.
Yeah.
It was like you were going between different moments in time to try to mess with you a little bit on when things happened, which was again a creative decision that might not have been the most effective as far as delivering information, but made things more enjoyable. So it's constantly a transaction of those things. But yeah, that's one example of how you can have an information gap when your focus is smoothness or creative elements.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think maybe like in the future there could be like another cut for this, right? But I don't know. Who knows?
A Kanye
take.
commentary?
Yeah.
Or
The
I mean, the thing is, Kanye's not enough because the footage has like I watched 5 minutes and you had Mos Def and Talib Kweli and there's going to be so many people, and that's another thing. It would be very daunting to try to arrange with all those people's schedules. I mean, that would be like a lifelong task to try to get their take and run interviews with everybody. And you're right as well, by the way. Just because you got an interview doesn't necessarily mean you got more facts, because people, you know how it is with memory. It's a slippery thing with time.
Yeah.
And you might talk about something in a way that's not actually even the way it happened, but now we're taking that as fact. So testimony is only one piece as well.
Yeah.
Orangutans got suspiciously close to inventing stone tools in new zoo experiments. Untrained orangutans seem to instinctively use a stone hammer and cutting implements, surprising researchers. So this guy's basically made a hammer out of a rock?
Yeah. It seems like it.
His name is Louis as well? I like that.
Louis the orangutan.
Isn't that in Jungle Book?
what is the orangutan's name?
I think it is Louis.
Is it?
I don't know. Mo's going to get to the bottom of it. Captive orangutans can use stone tools without minimal direction from humans, researchers reported today. Besides an affirmation of orangutan intelligence, I mean, everybody knows they're crazy intelligent, the finding has implications for understanding how and when stone tool use evolved in ancient human ancestors. Go ahead, Mo. You got
King Louis.
King Louis, there you go. We were right about that. I'm sure this guy's name must have been inspired. Our study shows that despite the fact that orangutans do not use stone tools in the wild, they can use them when these are provided to them in captive settings. Therefore, the fact that orangutans don't use stone tools in the wild is due to a lack of need or opportunity. Yeah, they're like, everything's going well.
Right.
That's
I
the
don't need
problem.
a hammer.
What's the problem? Yeah. Why are you handing me that hammer? It's useless to me. Everything is sorted out over here. I'm doing just fine. The orangutans in Norway did use the concrete hammerstone, but only to strike the walls and floor of their enclosure, not the stone they were provided with. In the second experiment, in which they were given a ready-made flint flake, an ape named Louis successfully used it to cut open a silicone skin to access food. Nice. Sharp tool, good food.
Dude,
Monkey-like.
I wonder if they looked at like people around who have tools and then started using them. Like thought it was like an inspiration.
Oh, like the monkey. The orangutan saw other people and then monkey see, monkey do is what you're saying.
Because I guess you can't do that in the wild, right?
No.
I don't know. I don't know how much they showed them what to do with it. Like instruction wise versus create the scenario where it would be useful. Food is an incredible motivator. I'm sure you've experienced this with Otis before, Will.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he'll find his way.
I think he'd be willing.
matter what.
He'd be
Yeah.
willing to use a stone tool if he could hold on to it. If his snack or treat was on the other side of some sort of skin that he could cut. Therefore, the fact that orangutans don't use stone tools in the wild is just because of opportunity. That's what they essentially. That's the conclusion of the thing. Create the opportunity, hide the food. Tools are coming out.
So
Oh, we
they
got a
go
video.
away.
Let's see. Let's check it out. What is that?
I don't know.
That's a
it
rock?
Seems to be.
Oh, that's the rock. Okay.
And there's
Sorry. Oh,
seems
he's
to be
banging.
a bunch of wires
He's banging.
covering.
Yeah. He's trying to get that free, whatever's hidden down there. Wow.
The little phone stand over there.
You got it, little buddy.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, they can do complex things. I think you've seen them do puzzles on screens and complex sequences in order to unlock food once they've discovered that that's what they need to do. Speaking of Last Dance, look at that. It's Michael Jordan's birthday.
Birthday.
Super mosquito could drive malaria surge across Africa's megacities. In 2020, malaria killed more than 600. This is one of those ones that my kids will do as a teaser. They're like, what's the most dangerous animal in the world?
Oh, okay.
And
I like this.
You know what I mean? And people would be like, it's a tiger. And they're like, mosquito.
You know.
And you're like, oh. Yeah, the mosquitoes are effective killers, man, via malaria. 627,000 people worldwide, the vast majority of whom were African children under 5. Researchers say that one of the grim silver linings of the disease is that it is primarily rural. Malaria transmission tends to drop dramatically in urbanized areas where housing is generally better quality and stagnant water is often cleared up quickly. Yeah, the stagnant water allows them to breed. You don't want it. No good. Scientists and medics are now terrified about what could happen if the mosquito spreads to Africa's tropical megacities. The Stephensi mosquito is threatening to overturn all of this. I guess it's a new type of mosquito. Look how terrifying that is. Well, you don't want nothing to do with that. It's whenever they put the word on it too. Then all of a sudden the Telegraph gets me clicking on articles when they're like super mosquito. I'm like, well, I gotta know about the super mosquito, man. It's coming again. They do the same thing with storms, snow apocalypse. Like it's you know what I mean? It sounds way bigger than it is, but no. With the mosquitoes, I'm sure it's a legitimate threat because they're already very effective at spreading disease. Click through to the article. Let's just find out when this particular one emerged. City-dwelling mosquito from Asia that now has landed in Africa, I guess, and it's rapidly urbanizing. Reports of a mystery illness spreading through a nomadic village landed on the desk of Captain Abdi, a physician in the Djibouti army. Did not know what to make of the information. This was a shock. We saw all these people, half the village, lying down on the ground outside, shivering and sweating. They tried to spray the area in the village. Nothing worked. The cases kept coming from 2012 to 2020. Malaria infections soared 2,800 times. 60,000 people out of a population of 800,000 caught the disease in 2020. It's a very high percentage right there. I thought we had solved the problem, but it just kept spreading so quickly we never expected it. So now I guess they think that this new mosquito is resistant. The villagers had been bitten by a new super mosquito from India called Anopheles stephensi, which had probably spread to the Horn of Africa on a cargo container from South Asia or the Arab Peninsula. Even with a microscope, an expert would struggle to tell the difference. Keep scrolling, Will.
Well, it was really big in 2020.
Between this new one and the typical African malaria mosquito, but there are two crucial differences between the two. The Stephensi mosquito is not as effective as Gambe at carrying malaria, but it thrives in urban environments. It can breed almost anywhere, in a dirty puddle, in between slum shacks, a rubbish dump, or even a bit of water in an abandoned car by the road. So this one doesn't need the same conditions to survive. It's more adaptable to urban environments. And you know what happens in urban environments? You got a lot more people.
They're super.
And you get the super tag. They live in urban environments. You are a super mosquito now. The typical...
They wear like a little super cape.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, they would have to have a villain cape. Who's the bad one in Superman?
Zod.
Yeah, they got to be Zod. So yeah, it's more their ability to be adaptable to conditions and show up in regions that are more dense, and then I guess obviously infect more people. Watch out for that. Holy. British shark victim fought to protect the predator that killed him. Ex-RAF expat dive instructor 35 objected to protective nets near beaches 6 months before he was killed by a 13-foot-long great white shark in Sydney ahead of his wedding to the girl of his dreams. How long is this headline? From Daily Mail. Holy cow.
They usually do the long ones. And then they have the facts subheadings. Bullet point subheadings.
Oh, wow. The guy was 6'5", an experienced ocean swimmer, loved being in the water. He was 500 feet from the beach. Okay, so he was in Sydney, Australia. And I guess there was a proposal to put nets in place in order to stop sharks from getting super close to the beach.
Right.
He was a big shark guy and had resisted this idea, I guess, on a previous occasion. And for the record, this happens very rarely. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It just happens very rarely. And he just so happened to be out here doing this swim. It was for a charity event. And he was a former Royal Air Force engineer. And he was doing this long swim, which brought him all the way out there. And this, 13-foot shark obviously thought he was food. And
he is to a shark.
Well, usually no.
Really?
Usually no. Usually a shark encounter, as freaky as it is for the human, usually the shark is more interested in something like a seal or something along those lines. They can kind of, I don't know. I mean, it effectively, the human body effectively works as food, if that's what you're suggesting.
Yeah.
But it is a kind of a foreign interaction for a shark. And most of the time, it doesn't go this way, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Freaky.
And so some people are very scared of these things, others less so. But every so often, you get a story comes out, and then people sort of rethink. And look at this. Daily Mail went to the old Facebook post. Shark nets and drum lines protect no one and kill all kinds of marine life every year. They need to go so these things don't happen. So that was his stance. They went to an old post on his Facebook page saying it's not worth it because it's not as risky as you think it is. What a wild story.
Well, yeah.
On a lighter note, how about this? Here's a dog that invented its very own game so it could play by itself. And if only your guys' dogs could do this kind of thing.
I wish Kovu could do that.
Then they could exhaust themselves and you could sit back and watch Jeen-Yuhs on Netflix.
Yeah.
So he puts the stick, he finds a way to wedge the stick in a groove in the ground and then use his nose to flip it up in the air and attempt to catch it before it hits the ground.
This dog is fun.
Bang, boom. He has to catch it before it hits the ground. Look, he does a flip and a catch.
Yeah.
That's
You don't like the game, Will?
I love this.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to make it on my own.
Like,
just build like a little ditch here.
Yeah, you just had
and then wedge a stick in between.
Well, the thing is, the dog has to be motivated. Like the dog at some point has to figure out that it can play the game.
Yeah.
But you think you can get Otis to do it? You sound really optimistic right now.
No. He won't do
when
it.
you said I got to figure out how to build it,
If
I
there's
felt
no
like
food, it's
I don't know, man. He likes to chew a stick, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he wants real food.
He wants
Right.
lasagna.
He's very food driven.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But this is cool. You never know, man. You know what the message is here, guys?
What's that?
You have no excuse. The dog here is making the best of this situation. He's saying, look, maybe all I got is a stick in a ditch, but I'm still going to find a way to have a time. Tail wagging.
It's the simple things, right?
Yeah, I mean,
There we go.
You got to make the best of it, whatever that means, even if you're just flipping a stick in a ditch. Thank you for joining, by the way, everybody. We'll see you again very soon. Thank you to everybody in the chat that's here live. Thank you to everybody that listens to this after the fact. I should probably watch this Jeen-Yuhs documentary before I talk at all about how it should be made. I feel very guilty about that. It was more, I was like zoomed out. I was just like,
Kanye's mad at you.
Just the concept of documentaries in general. I was just playing the devil's advocate.
Yep.
I realized now after the fact that I'm like, I should watch it. It might be something special going on to the extent where it really does warrant this alternative means for delivering the thing. So
tomorrow.
I apologize for overstepping on that, and I deserve to be canceled. So let's get on with it already.